Why, hello everyone. Hello. What is up, guys? It is James, aka Jimmy Pancakes 20, back here to do a new video slash podcast for you. And today is a very special one because I'm finally getting around to getting all of the recent Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood announcements all into one video. So we're going to talk about the Evil Dead Burns maze announcement. We're also going to talk about our first Scare Zone announcement, which is Fortnight. And then we're going to talk about the other maze announcement, which is the first original maze, because there are two of them, and we're going to talk about the other original maze, which is going to be announced at an event that Marsha and I are going, which we're going to talk about at the end of this video slash podcast. So, also, as I said, if you guys do follow me on social media, you guys know I've been busy for the last 2 weeks with other things, which I cannot talk about. But hopefully everything will be settled soon. That's all I can say for now. And that's why haven't been doing videos, and that's why I didn't do like that monthly update about what videos are coming out. But I'm gonna be back in high gear, trying to get as much videos out for you guys, like I promised. Because there's a couple that I owe you guys, and I'm going to try to make up for them for you. So, that's all I'm going to say. But, ladies and gentlemen, introducing my co-host. You know her. You love her. My co-host, my mom, Marsha. So, Mom, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
So, Mom, are you ready to talk about the 3 maze announcements? So, out of the 3 that we're going to talk about, which one are you most excited to talk about?
That's a hard question, James, because one of them we're going to announce. We haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't really say. But at the end, I'll say it.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. We're going to go in order of how these were announced. So the first one we're going to talk about is Evil Dead Burns, and this maze was announced. It was announced. Let me see the date. This was announced on July 21st. So it was like 3 days ago when this was announced. So we're gonna first watch the announcement video really quick, and then we're gonna get into it.
You there, join me. This game's easy to play, but deadly to lose. So, will you hit a hot streak or go up in smoke? Fan the flames of Evil Dead Burn. One nightmare of many, only at Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, Evil Dead Burns was officially announced as a maze, and from what I've heard, Marsha and I have not seen the movie yet, but everyone was telling me not to see this movie in theaters. It is not worth it. They said it was one of the worst Evil Dead movies ever. And from past history, when a movie is not so good in the movie theaters, but Horror Nights always makes the maze much better. So, and I have seen clips of this movie. I have seen it. It's probably going to be on one of the streaming stations pretty soon. So probably that's how Marsha and I are going to watch it, just like how we didn't watch Sinners. We're going to watch it on one of the streaming stations or just rent it and watch it. That'll probably be the same thing we do for Evil Dead Burns. So we will watch both Sinners and Evil Dead Burns, and we still have to watch Stranger Things 5 as well. So we're going to be watching a ton of stuff probably in August to get ready for opening night of Horror Nights. But Evil Dead Burns. As I said, I can't give too much opinion on it, but you guys are wondering, where is this maze going to be located? Well, John Murdy did answer that question, and Mr. John Murdy did confirm this is the key art for Evil Dead Burns, which I did show you. This house is going to be located on H Lot South. So what he's talking about is that is tent number 2. That's how we do it. So you have tent 1, which is going to be Hellraiser, and then we have tent 2, which is going to be Evil Dead Burns. So tent 1 is where Terrifier was last year, and tent 2 last year was Poltergeist. So just in case anyone went last year. So we have 2 brand new mazes on the H lot this year. And if people get the early admission, they can hit these 2 mazes first. And that was very popular last year with Terrifier. Everyone went to the H lot first, and that's what we did last year. So I bet you a lot of early admissions are going to sell out.
For these 2.
For these 2, and also Stranger Things is going to be part of that as well.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, Mom, your thoughts on this. But before I give your thoughts, there is an article from Fangoria. It doesn't give too much detail, but I'm going to see. Basically, the items are available, and basically what it says is Evil Dead Burns will take guests through the terrifying first-hand journey through the film's most frightening moments that will begin at the Press family secluded vacation home in the woods. The nightmare grows more and more as guests venture through the haunted house, encountering ferocious deadites around every turn before severing the evil force themselves. So, not a lot of detail of what this maze is going to entail. If you guys want more information, I'm going to put a link down to Five Fires. He goes into a lot more details, and he actually gives the whole plot of the movie. That's why Marsha and I are not going to see it in theaters, because he breaks the whole plot of the movie. He breaks down a lot more. So I will put a link to that video down below for you guys if you want more information about Evil Dead Burns. So, Mom, your thoughts?
Haven't seen the movie. I saw some of the Evil Deads with you, James.
Like the original ones and stuff.
Original ones. This is a remake, right?
No, this is a brand new one. This is not a remake.
I mean, I'll go through it. It looked good through the picture, but I can't describe, how I feel until James and me do our reviews when Halloween Horror Nights is over. But it looks like a good maze from the picture, but I can't really tell.
Right.
But, James and me are not going to see the movie because he said everybody says the movie doesn't depict the maze or something like that?
No, basically what people were saying was the movie's not good, but everyone says when the movie is not good, Horror Nights tries to make the maze much better. Because they know people are upset that this movie is coming to Horror Nights, so they want to try to make it as good as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Some people love the movie, some people hated it. So for me, because I have not seen the movie yet, but with the Five Fires video that I'm going to put a link down below to, he spoils the entire movie, and me and you understood just based off him telling the whole movie, and the movie didn't sound like it was very good. So I'm kind of glad we didn't spend our money to go see it in theaters.
Right. But, James and me usually go through all the mazes. So I'll give my opinion on the review when we do our reviews for all the mazes. See if I like this one or see if I didn't like this one.
Yeah, that's all we can do. Alright, guys, so we're going to move on to Fortnightmares. So, it is official. Fortnightmares is coming to... Oh, and I forgot to mention, Evil Dead Burns is a shared property with Orlando. So, it is a Orlando house.
And Hollywood's house.
And a Hollywood house.
Okay, got it.
Same for Fortnightmares. This is going to be a
shared property.
It's going to be a shared property, and it's both going to be a scare zone. I think what I read is Fortnightmares is going to be the scare zone in Central Park. And then for us here in Hollywood, it's going to be...
New York Street?
New York Street. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that yellow banana on the speculation map, and I do have the speculation map open. This yellow banana right here. Everyone was saying that was going to be Fortnite, and it's officially confirmed that it is Fortnite. This is not going to be the entrance scare zone where the chainsaw guys are. This is going to be the New York Street scare zone. And as I said, I did play one season of Fortnightmares a long time ago. But I have no idea what characters we're going to see. I don't know. I don't know if the Flaming Towers is going to be back this year, which I hope it is. But honestly, I don't know what to expect from this scare zone. So I understand a lot of people like this, especially kids like this. So, as I mentioned before in the previous speculation map when we were talking about Fortnite, Marsha and I both said that yes, this is going to bring a lot of money to Universal, but on the opposite hand, a lot of parents that are going to bring their kids because kids would want to see Fortnightmares as a live attraction, then Universal might get a lot of customer complaints. So, yes, it is going to make a ton of money for Universal, but also you have those headaches too of parents saying it's going to be too scary. So, for me personally, this one I'm not too excited about a scare zone. I want to see what they're going to do. But, at this point right now, because we don't know exactly anything, once I see it a few times, because we are planning to go multiple nights to Horror Nights this year, maybe I'll change my mind. But as of right now, I don't know what to expect for Fortnightmares. Your thoughts, Mom. And this is the tweet that John Murdy, because someone asked John Murdy about the scare zone. Is this going to be the front zone where the chainsaw guys are? And he said, no, it's going to be the New York Street scare zone. So whatever the chainsaw guys are going to be this year, that's going to be a completely different theme. So it's not going to be part of the Fortnightmare scare zone.
So they're going to be separate
Separate.
this time. So the Chainsaw guys have
The Chainsaw guys and girls.
Chainsaw guys and girls are at the beginning of the park. We don't know what that scare zone is going to be. And then Fortnight's going to be New York Street, the next one.
Where the Flaming Towers are.
Yeah. Okay.
So, your thoughts, Mom?
I don't know anything about this game. Haven't played it. I really don't play video games. I watch James play video games. But it's going to be a problem for Universal. I can feel it right now with the kids and the parents complaining. But James and me will see how it is. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so moving on from there. We have our final announcement as up to date right now. And if you guys follow updaters that go to the park and stuff, I want to say about a week or a week and a half ago, they had signage up for the maze that was going to be behind Jurassic Park. Well, we had a couple of strong winds a few days ago, or a couple weeks ago, and the sign blew off, and people started taking photos, and it said "devil." But a lot of people, when they saw that, they did research, and they came up with it said DeVille. Now, a lot of people were wondering what it was. Well, if you guys have not been to Horror Nights before, or you didn't go a couple years ago, in 2022, we had a maze inside the
UBE building,
which was the former Walking Dead attraction, and the maze was called Hotel Hell. And basically, the main character was called Maxie DeVille. And so it's been a couple of years, and now Maxie DeVille is back. But we're not going into his hotel. We're going into the next chapter of his story. And the maze is called Deadliest. Okay. So, it's not been confirmed, but John Murray has not confirmed it, but this is going to be the first original maze that I mentioned at the beginning of this. And the other original maze everyone thinks is going to be the one in Persian Courtyard, and we're going to talk about that because people said that is going to be the maze that's going to be announced at Midsummer Scream. But this is the first original one. And so Mr. John Murray himself on Twitter went through the entire story of this maze, and we're going to read it together. All right, you boys and girls asking already if you could see the house treatment. Well, I'm going to give you the introduction to give you some contents on this original house. It's going to start like this. The DeVille family funeral home has always had a secret. Founded in the early 1920s by famous hotel influencer Maxie DeVille, the DeVille family funeral home was the first full-service facility of its kind in the Los Angeles County. So the story for both the whole Universal Hotel and this maze, it both takes place in LA. So he had the hotel, and then he also had the funeral home. As business grew over the decades, the complex expanded to include the fully functional morgue, exam rooms, cremations, mortuary, and cemetery, all housed within the spreading grounds. But almost from the incident, the DeVilles were entrenched in scandal, rumor of missing bodies, improper cremations, organ trafficking, and other legal actions dragged the family business for years. As numerous investigations, legal action, and crime pursuits, the facility finally closed its doors in the late 1970s right after the mystery disappearance of its last director, Amy. It's Ambouse DeVille. Maybe that's like the sister or someone else. Seeing through the mountain of civil liberty and concurrent will, the descendants seized in court for decades of the shamble building slowly fell into decay. Abandoned buildings are now often the focus of ghost investigations and urban legends, and the DeVilles was no exception. Average skeptics continue to pray dark tales of what took place behind the immortal stone facade of the building, focusing the strange new discoveries. Shortly before this disappearance, the name Something DeVille was tied ushering to the new drugs Amityville, which could cause restoring life-like functions to the deceased without the alluring cost of immunity. So some claim to have seen Annabelle enter the certain abandoned furnace late at night, with others reporting discerned sounds and urban lighting coming from the shabby structure. And now it seems, even after death, the legend of, and it seems even after death, the legend of the DeVille family funeral home continues to haunt the living. So, Mom, what do you think about this? We're getting the next chapter. So he had the hotel, and then he also
had the funeral home.
And I'm assuming that may be his sister or something. We don't know who this Abity DeVille character is.
Mother, sister, who knows?
Who knows?
I'm excited for this one because I really like the hotel one.
The Universal Hotel.
I really like that one. And this one sounds really, really good, but really scary. I'm excited for this one, James.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to go through it a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm really happy this one's coming.
Yeah.
What do you think, James?
I'm really happy about it too.
Because the Universal Hotel, when we went through it a couple of times, it scared the bejeebers out of me.
Yeah, that was a good one. So,
but this one's going to be really good. This one sounds scarier than the hotel.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, this is the first original maze, and people are saying the other original maze is
Behind the Mummy.
No, is going to be the one that's going to be announced at Midsummer Scream, which is the one in the Persian Courtyard.
Persian Courtyard? Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Alright, guys, so before we wrap up this, I want to talk about what things were announced and what things still need to be announced. So I have the newest speculation map, so we're going to go through really quick so everyone is up to date of what was announced and what still needs to be announced. So, Sinners was the first maze announcement for Hollywood. That's in the UBE building. As we said before, we think this is the second original maze, which is going to be the one in Persian Courtyard, and everyone said that this maze is going to be the one that's going to be announced at the Horror Nights panel at Midsummer Scream. And as you guys know, Marsha and I have the going back tickets, and we are staying at one of the hotels close to it, so we will be there all weekend. So I will be covering a lot of stuff at Midsummer Scream, and I'm going to film as much as I can for the Horror Nights panel as well. So we will be there when it's announced live.
And we're going to, record that and some other things also when we're there.
And then Hellraiser was announced. That's the one in Sprint Tent number 1. That's where Terrifier was last year. Then Evil Dead Burns, we just talked about in this video. That's the one in Sprint Tent 2. Then we have the other maze that was just announced, the one we just talked about, which is the Dead Deader Deadest, the funeral home for Maxie DeVille. We still don't know the one for the one behind the Mummy, and as we said, there's a lot of people that are speculating that this is going to be an Ozzy Osbourne house, or a combination of Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath.
Is that the one behind the Mummy?
That's what everyone is thinking, that it's going to be an Ozzy Osbourne house.
Or a combination of Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath.
That's the only one that we could see. Or could we possibly get Jack the Clown versus Hollywood Harry? We don't know at this point, so that is still a maze that needs to be announced.
Right.
Stranger Things 5 was officially announced. That's going in Downstage 15. Then moving on to the T-Pad. It's still unknown, but if you look at the photos, the layout, everyone knows it's going to be Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but it's not officially announced yet, but everyone knows it's going to be Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
It does look like the same layout from Killer Clowns from a couple years ago, because it has that red and white on the top, and that's the sign for killer clowns.
Right. So moving on to the Terror Tram, with the 2 garbage bags. People still believe it's going to be Terrifier. At this point, I have no idea. But then when we were looking at the construction photos from Five Fires, it looks like it's Blumhouse, but John Murdy did do a tweet saying everyone's freaking out because everyone thinks it's going to be Blumhouse, but he's not confirming or denying it's Blumhouse or not. He said everyone's freaking out that it's Blumhouse. So you can take it as you must. Is he playing with us, or is it going to be Blumhouse again because of everything that's happening with Terrifier? We don't know.
Because Terrifier has that lawsuit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to bring up something really quick on this. We're going to go back to Twitter really quick. Because this was just posted on the Orlando website. We're not talking about Orlando, but they did announce a scare zone. And I want you to take a look at this. It says Downtown Cleartown featuring Art the Clown and Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
What? Terrifier's having that lawsuit. Why would they do this one in Orlando? If the lawsuit's going, maybe the lawsuit's over with. That is interesting, James. That's like blowing my mind.
So, we're talking about the Terror Tram possibly being Art the Clown and then Killer Clowns from Outer Space maze. So, this is the scare zone.
That's one in Orlando, right?
This is in Orlando. But it says featuring Art the Clown and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So possibly, could we see a Terrifier Terror Tram because they're having his character back in Orlando? And are we going to have a Killer Clown maze because it's also going to be in Orlando as well? That's very interesting.
I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Because everybody's saying that I talked to, James, is Terrifier still having that lawsuit. So why would Orlando have Terrifier and Killer Clowns? I don't get that, James. That blows my mind.
Killer Clowns, I think, is a given that we're going to get.
Right.
But the more interesting thing is it says Art the Clown.
Okay, that's like, I can't say anything else because we read the article on that lawsuit, James.
Yeah.
So why would Orlando announce that? I don't get that.
So that's very interesting. So could we still get the Terror Tram with Art the Clown? He's going to be there in Orlando. Who knows?
I hope so, because that would be if Terrifier is coming to Hollywood and it's like the Terror Tram, that would be good.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point that out, guys. So that's very interesting to me. So moving on from there, we don't know what's going to be the scare zone in the front of the park with the chainsaw guys. We just talked about Fortnight, which is going to be the New York Street scare zone, the Yellow Banana. French Street, we don't know yet, because that's usually tied into whatever's the maze.
In the Parisian Courtyard.
Yeah, and the scare zone is tied to that maze. In front of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, uh, it's unknown for now, but everyone thinks Burger Crows is coming back. But who knows at this point? And then last year, if you guys went last year, for the very first time, they had a small scare zone at the entrance of the studio tour, which was Hillbillies. We don't know if they're going to do anything like that this year, or if it was just a one time testing it out last year in 2025. So could we have a scare zone in front of the studio tour again this year? Who knows?
But my interesting thing, if Murders of Crows is right there, and Fast and Furious is going to be open during Horror Nights, that's going to get a little bit crowded, James.
Well,
if it's going to be open, I don't know. Everybody says it's going to be open. Fast and Furious roller coaster.
Yeah.
So I don't like. That's going to be a little congested.
Yeah, we have no idea. And then to wrap up this video, we don't know what is going to be the show in the DreamWorks theater. And for the last couple of years, this has always been the last minute announcement. So like,
Late Night with Chucky.
Late Night with Chucky was a last minute announcement 3 weeks before the event began, and then last year for Chainsaw Man, that was also a last minute thing as well. And I think for the Blumhouse Behind the Screens was also, I think, a last minute thing too. So we are going to get something in DreamWorks theater. We just don't know what it's going to be. And then to wrap up the video, we're talking about the Waterworld Stunt Show Arena. It's unknown for now, but a lot of people believe that the Purge Stunt Show is going to come back this year. But people have also heard that it's going to be a new show this year as well. I'm thinking maybe a Resident Evil, because that would be cool, because we do have a new Resident Evil movie coming out this year. I mean, something else in the Purge, I would enjoy that. But at this point, it's unknown. So that is everything so far. So as we have the Persian Courtyard maze that still needs to be announced. We still need
Behind the Mummy.
Behind the Mummy needs to be announced. And the one in the T-pad needs to be announced. So we have 3 more mazes that need to be announced. Then the Terror Tram needs to be announced. And then we have one of the scare zones that is announced, so we need to know about the one in the front of the park where the Chainsaw guys are. The one in front of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And the one on French Street. And if there's going to be another scare zone in front of
the Harry Potter.
No, in front of the studio tour.
Oh, yeah, studio tour, yeah.
And then we are still waiting for the 2 shows. So we still have, we're about halfway through our announcement so far for Hollywood. Orlando has a lot more announcements that were already announced. So they have maybe like a couple more, but Hollywood, we're maybe about half right now.
Right.
So that is going to wrap up this video / podcast. I don't know what my next video or podcast is going to be. As I said, I was busy for the last 2 weeks, so I really haven't been working on notes and stuff, but I'm going to get back into the groove of getting notes and stuff. So I know there's a lot of videos that I need to still work on, that I need to promise that are like a couple months behind. So I will be working on those videos for you guys. I'm going to try to catch up on a lot of things that I promised you. So I'm working as fast as I can on those. But I wanted to get this video out because this is the latest HHN Hollywood news, and I wanted to get this video out for you guys. So I want to thank my co-host Marsha, my mom, for joining me again for this video / podcast.
You are very welcome.
And Mom, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I'm still thinking about the Scare Zone in Orlando with Art the Clown. That's still bothering me. So we'll just see what happens. But Hollywood,
but that's very interesting. So
I know, because the lawsuit's going on. I don't know if it's done and they settled it. No one knows. They haven't been posting that yet on everything.
Right. But that was very interesting. That's why I wanted to point it out.
It's like my mind is racing right now on that one. But I'm happy with the mazes so far. The 2 shows, I'm not going to be happy if the Purge Stunt Shows comes back. I'll see it. But I want something different in the Waterworld arena. But so far, the lineup sounds really, really good. And I can't wait to go. Your thoughts, James?
Yeah, we're about halfway, and so far, the lineup so far, I'm happy with, except for a few things. But overall, it's been a good, announcement so far. But I still need to wait to see on those other mazes and see if it's going to be a good year or a bad year. And I'm really interested. I really hope Terror Tram is going to be, I hope the Terror Tram is going to feature Art the Clown or theme to Terrifier. Because, as I said, that's very interesting that they announced on the Scare Zone that it's going to have Art the Clown in Orlando. So, he was a shared property last year for both Hollywood and Orlando. So, if Orlando has it, I'm pretty sure we're going to have Art the Clown somewhere at Horror Nights this year, but we'll just have to wait and see. So that's my thoughts on that. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap up this video. As I said, if you want more information on the Evil Dead Burns maze, I will put a link to Firefire's video where he talks about the whole plot of the movie, goes into more details. More than I could share on my video. And that's pretty much it. So, Mom, what is your social media sites?
You can follow me on Twitter.
Formerly known
as X.
No. X, formerly known as Twitter.
And Instagram. And it's like Marsha Fan 1960.
Right. So, she's on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram, and on both of her usernames is Marsha Fan 1960. If you want to follow me, your host James, you can follow me on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I also post on the YouTube post page on my YouTube channel as well. And just to let you guys know, I said this before, but if you guys are new, some of my usernames start with some of them are Jimmy Pancakes 20, and some of them are Jimmy Pancakes 20 Show. So it depends on which one you follow me. It's going to be those combination of those two things. It's either Jimmy Pancakes 20 or it's Jimmy Pancakes 20 Show. So there you go. All the links to my mom's social media sites will be at the bottom of this video, as well as mine. And want to thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day, night, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this video on YouTube or listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, or Podbean.com, or their official app. I was your host, James, signing off, and we'll see you for the next video/podcast coming soon. Bye-bye.